So you're ready to remove all the old carpet that you have around your house, and this video is going to teach you how to do this in the most efficient and practical way. Let's remove all this carpet, and remember that after you take the carpet out, you're going to have some padding underneath and a whole bunch of little staples that we need to remove. And this is because the floating floor is going to be really susceptible to the height of these little staples. So whatever staple you have that has all this foam around, you need to just remove it. Otherwise, you can hammer down the old staples that are clear. That's important, so it's going to take some time. Make sure that you remove all the stains as well as nails and all the supports that you have around the carpet. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to cut around the frames, or in this case, the casing and the frame, and pretty much any entrance that you have. In this case, this is the closet, and you have a door as well to come into the room. So we're going to do the same thing around the door, and pretty much whatever you think that you need to install this floating floor under. Now, remember that we want to finish all these corners really well. That's going to make our job look professional, nicer, and just more clean. That's an important thing to do. So you need to do this just the way I'm doing it over here is fine. Now, the floor that we're going to put is a floor that is extremely inexpensive. Here's as much information as I can give you. It was purchased by my customer. She went to a particular place to buy it, but pretty much with all these references, you can actually find the color and whatever you can find it. So this is a really good material because it's actually waterproof. Obviously, doesn't have any particle board inside or any wooden material, so it's waterproof and you can actually wipe it, you can clean it, and it's really good for that. So it's a material that I will use definitely. I feel like I need to mop and I need to clean, and you have babies and such, definitely. Now, the cutter that we're going to use is this saw. This little saw is sold for floating floors. It's a really inexpensive saw, and I'm going to leave it on the description. See if you can buy it and get it if you want to do this in the entire house. It's really good to have this saw. It's really clean and it's really safe. So that's something that I look for anytime that I'm working, something safe. Here is the information. Again, I'm going to leave it in the description and see if you can find it. You can order it through Amazon or so. So you have a lot of advantage. This little saw is not that expensive, and it can help you for all those projects around the house, and why not in your business. So let's go back again to the part that we're gonna start. So remember that these floating floors have a lip and a little groove that is gonna insert into. And that locking mechanism is the one that you need to remember. In this case, what I'm doing is that I'm putting the larger lip towards like the front. So I'm going to start with the small little lip or the tongue against the wall, and I'm going to come that way. Now, remember that if you're going to have that transition in between the hallway and the entrance, you want to make sure that you install this little piece first. So take your time. You want to install the larger planks first, and then just make them proper measurements. Then you have to lock this little piece in. That way you can start with a clean, straight line instead of just kind of cutting from the beginning all the boards. You want to do that. I mean, that's more practical and it's going to look nicer. So an important thing that you need to remember is that it shows that it's quote unquote easy to be locked in, but the reality is that because it's so thin and you want to do it nice and smooth, you want to have all those edges nice and smooth. The problem that we have right now is that the planks, sometimes if you try to install them the way they say, they're gonna crack. You're gonna have a lot of frustration. So take the following steps that I'm gonna show you, so you can actually clip this really well and you have a perfect seam. That is the most important thing. So remember that you have two different lips, two different areas that you need to lock in. And if you install it in the right way, you're not gonna bust all those little corners and you're not gonna have frustrations. So I'm going to show you first what we need to do. The first thing is that we're gonna use that front lip towards the front, and we're gonna lock in a little piece, a little scrap piece inside. We're gonna lock it in because that's how we're gonna actually give some sort of pressure. We're gonna hit this with a hammer so it goes in and it locks in. So that's the idea, that you use that inside there. Don't try to use a piece of wood or something, because you're gonna bust all those edges and you're gonna be frustrated because that piece is not gonna work anymore. Look how it goes in, and then you're gonna start hitting it little by little with a hammer so it goes into it. Now, in this situation, I have to use somebody else to be able to install it properly. I try to do it myself, and if you have other ways, other techniques, just let me know, because it's really important to transfer all this information to others that are frustrated as well. So remember, let's lock the first part has to be against the plank that is right next to it. That is the technique that I'm going to show you. So what you do is you want to start by making sure that your board locks into that smaller or the narrow edge that you have there, and you almost get close to the seam on the back. You almost get close over there to the seam in the back. You want to make sure that that little lip is not inside there, because first of all, it's not going to lock in, and the other part is that if you put it too close, it will be on top of your little lip over there. So you want to go ahead and just leave about 1/8 of an inch, 16 of an inch right there. Make sure that you lock in that narrow edge over there, and go ahead and start installing your plank from the other side. So now that is locked on one side, you're going to lift it up a little bit, and you're going to put a little bit of pressure, and that's where you want to have a helping hand right there. And that hand or that person is what it's going to do. You can try to do it yourself. I'm not saying that's not possible, but what the other person is going to do is that it's going to hit that section. It's not going to hit the existing plank that is already installed, but it's going to hit the one that is right next to it. And remember, you see a little 16, about 1/8 of an inch, 16 of an inch of difference. You're going to hit it a little bit. You can close a little gap in between the larger lip and the new board that you're installing, the new plank that you're installing. Look, if you have a little section that kind of opens up, you go ahead and do the stuff. You lock it in back, you in the middle, or wherever you feel like it needs a little more support. You see how your plank is going in. It's going in nicely, and that's how you pretty much avoid all this frustration. You see that you have a clean edge, you don't have an issue with that, and you are working in the proper way. So that is the best thing that you can do. You have that edge, and the little edge is going to go there nicely, and you're going to hit it really well, and then you're just going to bust the little section of the scrap piece without damaging the fine edge that you need to work with. Another important part of this is the door or the closet. And what you're going to do is you want to transfer all those measurements into the plank that is going to go inside there. So go ahead and measure the depth and the width as well. So you're going to have a particular shape over here, but you want to make sure that all these edges are inside or under your casing, under your moldings, because that way you don't have an exposed subfloor. So you want to do that, and you just want to mark those areas over there. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this with the oxidating saw. So once you have that shape that is going to go inside there, go ahead and use your oxidating saw. In this case, the material is really practical to cut, to make life really easy. So I'm going to leave you in the description how you can get this oxidating saw as well. So you can order some bits or some blades in this case, and make those cuts not only on the board itself or the plank, but on the jamb, on the casing, in any area that you need to make a cutout. So go ahead and install it, and make sure that you just put the right pressure to bring it inside without just busting other edges. That is an important thing that you need to do. So just by cutting or by actually hammering this carefully, you can actually bring it all the way in, and just kind of lining it up with the rest of the planks that are coming. Now, those sections that are going to go in reverse over there, obviously you need to install them in a particular way, because you are going from one end to the other, but you need to just cut some small pieces, some sections, and install your shoe molding. That shoe molding has to be cut in 45 degrees at the corners, and just so follow me in YouTube as Hugo Correa. Hit that little notification bell after you subscribe. And in Facebook, follow me as Hugo Correa DIY, on Instagram as Hugo F Correa DIY. Look how beautiful this looks like. Now you can mop it, now you can clean it, and you're not gonna have issues with carpet anymore. Thank you, and have a great project. Bye.